Good evening. In this presentation, I will be analyzing the potential negligence claim filed by Sarah against Freshmart, a grocery store, following an incident in which she slipped on a liquid spilled while shopping. My analysis will focus on key negligence principles such as duty of care, breach of duty, causation, and potential defenses under both Malaysian law and the law of England. I will also discuss policy considerations and their broader implications for businesses like Freshmart. Let's begin by identifying the core issue. The central legal issue here is whether Freshmart can be held liable for negligence after Sarah slipped and injured herself in the store. To explore this, we need to examine four key elements. First, whether Freshmart owed Sarah a duty of care. Second, whether the store's failure to act on the spill constitute a breach of that duty. Third, whether there is a direct causal link between the store's breach and Sarah's injury. And fourth, any potential defenses that Freshmart may raise in response to Sarah's claim. Moving on to the relevant legal principle, we begin with duty of care. Under both Malaysian and English law, an occupier of premises, such as Freshmart, owes a duty of care to those who enter their premises, especially customers. This duty requires that the occupier take reasonable steps with reasonable care towards others as they can reasonably foresee the harm, which indicates the neighbor principle. This principle was established in the landmark case of Donahue and Stevenson in 1932, where it was decided that a manufacturer owed a duty of care to a customer, even in the absence of a direct contractual relationship. Given that Sarah was shopping in a store and was likely unaware of the spill, Freshmart owed her a duty to maintain a safe environment and prevent accidents. Next, we consider whether Freshmart breached its duty of care. The witnesses confirmed that store's employees were aware of the spill but did not take action to clean it or put any warning signs. In legal terms, a breach occurs when the defendant's actions fall below the standard of care expected in each situation. Based on the case of Nettleship and Weston in 1971, standard of care is the level of caution that a reasonable man would act under the same circumstances. In this case, a reasonable store would have acted swiftly to clean up the spill, or at least warn customers by placing a sign to alert them to the danger. By not doing so, Freshmart likely breached its duty of care to Sarah. The next element of the negligence is causation, which links the breach of duty to the injury sustained by the claimant. In Sarah's case, we apply the but-for test. But for Freshmart's failure to clean the spill or warn Sarah, would she have fallen and injured herself? The answer is almost certainly no. The spill directly caused Sarah's fall, and the injuries she sustained were a foreseeable consequences of that fall. This established a clear causal link between Freshmart's breach and Sarah's injury. Additionally, we apply the concept of proximate cause. Was the harm foreseeable? Given that a spill on the floor of a busy store is a known hazard, it was certainly foreseeable that someone could slip and get hurt. Therefore, Freshmart's breach of duty was the proximate cause of Sarah's injury. Now, we turn to the potential defenses that Freshmart might raise. The first possible defense is contributory negligence, where Freshmart might argue that Sarah was partially responsible for her fall, perhaps by not paying attention to her surroundings. However, this defense is weak, as it is common for consumers in crowded stores to rely on the business to manage hazards. In fact, it is more likely that Freshmart's failure to address the spill, rather than Sarah's action, was the primary cause of the incident. The second potential defense is assumption of risk, where Freshman might argue that Sarah knew the risk of spills and accepted it by entering the store. However, this defense is unlikely to succeed because there were no visible warnings about the spill, and Sarah could not have reasonably foreseen or expected the hazard in a busy store. Moving on to the policy consideration, this case raises important questions about the responsibilities of businesses to ensure customer safety. From a broader perspective, businesses like Freshmart must invest in employee training, hazard identification, and regular cleaning procedures to prevent accidents like this. By prioritizing customer safety, businesses not only protect their customer, but also avoid accidents and the legal consequences that can arise from negligence. So, in conclusion, based on Malaysian law and the law of England, it seems like Freshmart will be found liable for negligence. Freshmart owed Sarah a duty of care as a customer, and the failure to act on the spill was a clear breach of that duty. The breach directly caused Sarah's injury, and the defenses of contributory negligence and assumption of risk are unlikely to succeed. This case underscores the importance of businesses taking reasonable precautions to ensure the safety of their customers and the potential legal consequences where they fail to do so. Thank you for listening to this analysis. I hope this presentation has provided a clear understanding of the legal principles involved and the likely outcome of Sarah's negligence claim against Freshman.